Greetings and salutations from the lower middle class realm of Charlotte, North Carolina, where I bring you the review for Lord of the Rings War in the North. I believe this is the first game in the series that carries a mature rating for the over-the-top blood and gore that's in the game, and it's actually part of the reason I had picked this title up. You can detach heads, limbs, and there's some pretty cool finishing moves that can be cranked out as well, making for some interesting combat from time to time. But this game definitely has some issues. They're going to keep it from being one of the great games it could have been. Let's go ahead and get into the review. The biggest selling point and the main reason a lot of people are going to pick this game up are going to be the graphics. They're absolutely stunning. For the most part, everything in this game looks really good. Your characters are all highly detailed, the environments look just as polished, and everything looks like it belongs in a Lord of the Rings game. There's really not that many complaints as far as screen tearing, lag, or anything of that nature if you're playing offline. Now, I have read there's some multiplayer issues if you're playing online, such as your games might be slightly out of sync as you play, but I can't really confirm or deny this as I didn't play it online. While the graphics of blood and detached limbs are excellently done on here, you do have canned animations of your swings that make it difficult to quickly block or roll out of situations once you've committed to the swing, and this can actually be a problem because of how often you're swarmed by the enemy. The music in this game is pretty much what you'd expect from a Lord of the Rings title. It has the same feel to it that we heard in the movies, and the actual sound effects were decent as well. I can't really rave about how great the sound is, as there's nothing really here that stood out to me or went above and beyond any other game, but it did fit the game well without any issues, and it was mostly enjoyable as well. This is going to be where the review takes a nosedive into troll country. The first few hours of this game were absolutely brutal in terms of difficulty, even on the normal difficulty setting. It's not really possible or even worth the effort to grind your levels early in this game. And to make matters worse, the gear selection, or lack thereof, is so scarce that I went many hours into this game before I finally had a fully geared character. Some battles were just overly easy to the point it was a joke, while others were so difficult and cheap that the game felt frustrating in certain points. Now granted, I was playing entirely offline, but I have a feeling it wouldn't have been much easier online. You do reach a point several hours into the game that it does become a lot more manageable, especially after you're finally able to fully gear up your characters and actually have a few special abilities to use in combat. While your computer teammate's AI isn't exactly bad, it's not very good either. For example, my Lore Master Mage companion, who I had put a lot of effort into unlocking her ability to heal me directly, she never once decided to use that ability even in critical situations. Some of the bosses were able to swipe and kill me in 2 hits, and some of the boss battles became basically a test of patience as I spent half the time reviving my dead companions or vice versa. I didn't get a whole lot of game overs in my time playing, but as a whole, I'd say everyone in this fellowship could easily qualify as a full-fledged medic. There's a whole lot of small nagging issues, like the ranger character can only hold 40 arrows to start the game, which can later be slightly increased, but your range attacks are always going to be hampered through many parts of the game because of this. The save points in certain missions are very few and far between, so a game over can easily set you back 20 minutes or more. I'm pretty sure this is going to be one of those titles that's going to end up in the discount bin early next year, and once it reaches the bin, I'd recommend the title for sure. Or if you have a friend or two that are committed to wanting to explore this game with you and you all possess a good bit of patience, it may be worth the price of admission now. The game can and will feel repetitive. It has some bright spots, but it also has some dull spots as well. While the gear and the loot collection was really awesome, most of it was such a minor upgrade from the previous piece that you don't really feel like you're building a character in an RPG. You just feel like you're equipping him to be able to withstand the next beating that your party's going to take in the game. I'm not saying the game is impossible to complete, because once again, I didn't get that many game overs, but you really do get swarmed a lot on the game and kicked around a lot as well. Anyways, this is Zero at ReviewZoneHD, and I'll be bringing you guys more reviews soon.